Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Mystery Sports Podcast. And it's been a long time since I've actually streamed. It's been about over a week now since I did the last stream. Obviously, that was a reaction to the Man United draw against Nottingham Forest. And we'll kick it off straight away. Like it's good to obviously stream again. And we've had a lot of sporting action over the past week, the past weekend. We've had Champions League, we've had Premier League football, we've had FA Cup football as well, actually, and um, Formula One's shaping up to be very, very entertaining currently at the moment. And if we just let's get straight into the Premier League. We'll have a look at obviously what's happened throughout this weekend because there's quite a few obviously amazing fixtures that's happened this weekend and a lot of surprise results, should we say. So let's kick it off. So obviously the Hartwell kick-off on Saturday was United versus Spurs. And you know, obviously I'm gonna do spend a bit more time on this one now. I think United can probably be happy with the point. I mean, it's better than not losing. I also think United can definitely be disappointed in terms of how we've not gone and won the game, or we didn't take our chances that we had, and we probably should have gone and scored more. I think Spurs looked decent, but they just looked rubbish. Like they were there to take, they were there for the beating, and United probably should have gone and won away at Spurs. Obviously, it's a tough place to go because Spurs are, you know how good Thomas Frank is as a manager and how well he wants his side to be hard to break down and things. And you can see that away with Spurs, how they don't really concede many goals away from home. And if you just look at obviously in terms of the plays for United, I mean, United played very well and Blemmer looked amazing. Um, Dorgu looked very good. I thought Masraoui looked very good. Cunha, I think, lacked a little bit of that effort, that or not effort, the quality that we've seen previously. But I think overall, United can take a lot of positives from that game. I know obviously we probably should have won the game depending on the chances that we had, and we were the better team. And defensively, we need to be much better than what we actually were. I think United to go there and draw 2-2, decent result in my eyes. And I think that I know there could be a lot of people who think, "Oh my god, United are shit. We should be going and winning the game. We should be going doing this. We're crap team, Ruben Amorim out and things like that." I don't think that definitely isn't the case now. I think obviously we went on that run where we won 3 games in a row, but we're 5 games unbeaten. And that's the first time that's ever happened under Ruben Amorim and in for a long while. So having that 5 games unbeaten, I know obviously the last 2 games were draws, we're still looking like a different side. And I think Ruben Amorim's adapted this United squad to be a bit more solid defensively and to be more compact. And I think that's why we're looking not well, a better team from where we were previously. I just got obviously a chat here from Pradesh Mystery. What do you think of the problem is with United and them not being able to handle a lead slash clean sheet? I think in terms of the holding a lead, I think United just we lack that kind of maybe experience. I think we rush into things. I also think in terms of clean sheet wise, I think United just always look like they're going to concede goals. I think the only way that we probably solve that solution is buying someone like a midfielder um who can get box to box and who isn't as Lafarge or who isn't as old as Casemiro. And even alongside Bruno, for example, maybe you have someone who can make sure he can get there forward and you can also do that defensive work like really well. I just think maybe it comes with like the a bit of football intelligence as well, because like holding a lead, like obviously we were 1-0 up and things, but we should be going and pushing for that second, maybe even third goal when we have the opportunity to. I just think in terms of like the way that Spurs scored and the way Nottingham Forest scored, it's just kind of like when that ball's played into the air, into the back post, for example, we look weak. Like the wing backs, I don't think are strong enough to be kind of area in the air. I don't think they're strong enough to win the ball in the air. And I think obviously Ahmad, we know he can't grow anymore, and no one's expecting him to grow. Do you know what I mean? But I think Ahmad defensively, obviously, we know he's not the best. Attacking wise, obviously, he's fantastic. And I just think Delo, when we play him, we just look like we're going to concede a goal anyway because 9 times out of 10 he'll make a mistake in the game. And I mean, he did come on, he looked okay. So, you know, it's a tough one with why I think, or what do I think the problem is? I think, well, it probably just is the lack of defensive fullbacks that we have, especially on the right side. And I think just that experience, I think the likes of Maguire, De just need to step up and kind of be like, "Look, we've gotta do this." And Casemiro and Bruno, they've gotta step up and be like, "Look, we gotta be tight now. We've gotta make sure that we don't concede goals." And I think United have looked very good. Like before Spurs equalised, we were defending brilliantly, and I remember Ali McCoy saying it on commentary that we looked very good and we looked that the defense was amazing, really. But I still think the positives, we got a draw out there. We deserved the draw. We probably deserve three more than a draw. And we move on to obviously after the international break and go and beat Everton now at home. See, that's on a Monday night. So we've got to go win those type of games against the Evertons and batter them so we can get pushed for second place. So then moving on, we'll move on to Everton. Obviously, they beat Fulham 2-0. Brilliant performance from Everton. West Ham, second win under Nuno Espirito Santos, 3-2 against Burnley. Burnley looks a good side. Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Brilliant from them. I think Sunderland look like they might not get top four, but they look like they're very, very good side, and I don't think they'll get relegated now. They're getting points against top of the league, which is incredible. And obviously, Arsenal's winning run and clean sheet run comes to an end. You also have Chelsea beating Wolves 3-0, just a standard result there, I think. Obviously, Wolves now, I think, have probably got Rob Edwards in charge, so hopefully their fortunes can be turned around. Villa 4-0 against Bournemouth. That was very surprising, but Villa look like they're on the up, and now obviously they're in contention for the Champions League, like they probably would be. Brentford beating Newcastle 3-1. Newcastle obviously getting a man sent off there, obviously not good for them. Newcastle, and they do need to step it up, and I don't think it looks pretty for them sitting on 12 points on the league. Palace Brighton, I would expect it to be a draw, 0-0. It's quite surprising. I thought there'd be goals, but that is that was always probably gonna end up in a draw. Forest beating Leeds 3-1. Brilliant for Forest. I think that's the type of results that they need to go and win. And then obviously the big one, City versus Liverpool, 3-0 to Man City. And I think that just shows that Liverpool aren't that team anymore. Liverpool aren't that team who look dangerous. I think Liverpool are I think it's kind of reality check for them that they're not amazing. They've spent 400 odd million on players, and they're not that good of a team. That they don't look very good. And I think this is quite a bold statement from me. I think Arne Slot isn't a good manager. Sorry, I've said it. I think Arne Slot is very, very poor, and I think he could be another Ten Hag. I think he's got so much hype in the Dutch league, did so well in the Dutch league. I just think that result 3-0 against Man City is very, very eye-opening. And I think Liverpool, you've got to be scared. Like, are you actually going to make top four this year? Because results like that, 3-0 against City, and obviously I know you beat Arsenal 1-0 at Anfield, but let's say you go away to the Emirates, you might get slaughtered there. Might be a 5-0. You never know. But I don't think Liverpool are in the title race anymore. Obviously, that could change. I just think Arne Slot isn't very good. I think Jurgen Klopp won the league last year with Liverpool because it was his team. He didn't really change anything, Arne Slot. He tried changing things a bit like how Ten Hag did with United. Tried changing things, brought his players who he wanted in, and they look they look like a mid-table club. I think Villa would do them at the moment, and I think obviously United beat them. I think even Brentford, obviously, Brentford won, didn't they? Yeah, Brentford beat them. I think teams like Leeds would obviously give them a game. I think Liverpool just about beat Leeds. It's crazy. But if we just turn to the table and where that leaves, obviously the table now. So obviously the Arsenal top, clear by 4 points on 26. City second on 22. Chelsea third on 20. Sunderland on 19 and fourth. Tottenham, Villa, United, Liverpool, and Bournemouth all on 18. That makes the top nine. Palace are in 10th on 17. Brighton, Brentford, and yeah, just Brighton and Brentford are 11th to 12th on 16 points. Everton on 15 and Newcastle 12th. So really, sorry, Newcastle on 12 points in 14th. Really, there's not much split in the top 13th, maybe 14th if you class Newcastle as well. Even then, you're looking at the it's very, very competitive. Like West Ham are now on 10 points after back-to-back wins. And even then, Nottingham Forest are on 9. Wolves look like the clear relegated side, I would say. I think they're gonna get relegated. Um, but it's very, very close. In terms from in of the race for Europe, I think we'd go Everton in 13th and above. There's only a few points really splitting it, you know? And if I'm gonna be realistic on what I think the race for Europe is, probably Brentford are in it on 16. And obviously it's a huge drop off, and I think the the 1, 2, 3, there's 3 points in it really for that second place, you know? And it is crazy, like, let's say United um, win against Everton, right? And the rest of them lose. United are sitting in third, you know? It's mad. This just proves why the Premier League is the best league in the world. And, it is mental what is happening right now. Because I'll be honest, I did not expect this. I thought it would be quite clear on who there was in the title race. And I think the City win today. City are in this title race. And I said before they weren't in it after a couple of defeats. But, the title race is probably Arsenal, 100%, City, and I would even say Chelsea. Possibly, I don't think Sunderland are in it, but sitting 1 point off Chelsea, Sunderland could be argued. But, I think it's between the 3. Arsenal, City, and Chelsea will win the league, or who were in the title race. I think Arsenal do win it, and I think City will give it a huge shot. And let's not take any away from Man City. Obviously, Pep's 1,000th game today. Obviously, great achievement for him. And I think, we know how good City are. We know how good their title wins. We know that they can just win games out of nothing. And, the masterclass of Pep Guardiola. So City are definitely in this, and I wouldn't write them off. I think Arsenal won't. The banana skin games like the Sunderlands, Arsenal City won't let Arsenal off and just let them run away with the league. But enough about the Premier League. Let's talk about the Formula One. So obviously this is heating up now. 3 more races left after, 3 more races now. So the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, Brazil Grand Prix this weekend, and it's been a very, very entertaining weekend in terms of the sprint race, the drivers who crashed out, how the championship's looking. Kimi Antonelli getting his career best in second in the race today. Should we just go through the top 10? So we've got Lando Norris who wins the race. Brilliant for him. I think he's going to win the championship now. He is a race win ahead in points of Piastri, is closest to contender, which is 25 points, and he's 50 points clear of Max Verstappen, who's the third. So Lando first, Kimi Antonelli second, brilliant for Mercedes, brilliant for him. Max Verstappen third, starting from the pit lane, making it third, brilliant drive from him. George Russell fourth, good for Mercedes, a 2-4, brilliant. Oscar Piastri fifth, I think it's poor from him. Behrman sixth, another top 6 finish for Haas and Ollie Behrman. Liam Lawson seventh, Isaac Hadjar eighth, ninth Hulkenberg, and Pierre Gasly in 10th. And I think, it's brilliant from this entire weekend of F1 has been fantastic. And the way that everything's happened in the championships and what's happening and how people are crashing out like Piastri did in the sprint race, I think, it just makes La Vegas next in a couple of weeks, I think it is very entertaining. Qatar will be amazing, and Abu Dhabi will be obviously the finale of the season and obviously the closure of it. It would just be amazing. I think in terms of what we're looking ahead, I think that in Vegas, Mercedes could have come strong there. It's another street race. They look strong in Singapore, so they could do well there. I think Verstappen it could be a Verstappen no show, no show, Verstappen show in Vegas, and I think the the McLarens won't be as strong as what we think they have been in traditional track like Sao Paulo or Qatar or Abu Dhabi. I think in terms of the championship now, if we're looking at it, I think Norris will win it, 25 points clear. Obviously, there's 83 points for up to grabs for the championship, and I do think Norris will win the the championship. I think if he can win in Vegas or win in Qatar, then I think it's over pretty much. Obviously, mathematically, it's not, but I think he does win, and I think that he just comes strong because I can't see in Qatar and Abu Dhabi them the McLaren slipping off, and Norris just looked dominant today, really dominant. And then in terms of the darts, so the darts is back, the Grand Slam is back, and it's been a very mixed weekend for the darts. Obviously, we've got a very, very big news, which I'm gonna really mainly stay on. So Littler won, Van Gerwen won, and things like that. So all your traditional players have all been winning this weekend. But just a mention to Michael Smith, so he won the championships in 2021. Obviously, everyone remembers the amazing leg that Michael Smith won against Van Gerwen when they're both on nines. They're both on nines, and all that kind of jazz from the commentators. So Michael Smith, obviously, unfortunately, was diagnosed with severe arthritis and couldn't play darts for almost a year now, and he's made his return back into the professional tournament, and he won his first game with 5-1, I think it was, and I thought that was brilliant. And I think Michael Smith is a prime example of someone who's been set back with a massive injury and now he's come back into the sport. He's playing dominant darts, right? And he had his interview in Sky and he was very emotional and stuff. But what touched me was that he said, I'll be back. Don't worry, I'll make sure I'm back." And I think, that's what we missed in darts for the past few seasons. Obviously, we've had Luke Littler, the shining teenager. We've had Luke Humphries, the world number one in the machine. Michael Van Gerwen's obviously been there. Gezi Price is back. But we're missing that Michael Smith, and Bully Boy is back, and I think I hope he does well, and I hope he makes it for the champs because come December it will be brilliant for the World Championships. But yeah, that is all. That is it for today. I will probably do another stream maybe Friday, obviously for the obviously there's no Premier League football now, international break, but I probably will do another video on any transfer news or any breaking news that might happen. And yeah, honestly, I hope you all, oh, I can't even speak. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. On if you're watching this tomorrow or whenever you're watching this, hope you have a good day and a good week. Catch you all in a bit.